Sports fans, and welcome back to another edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. We have a lot to cover for this one since it is the episode before Thanksgiving. I am Charles Taylor, and I have Patrick Brackett with me. Say what's up, Patrick.
What's up, everybody?
All right, so here we go, man. I guess we'll just start off with college football and the NFL, of course. So we're gonna review and preview this week's action, and then we have a whole bunch of other topics we're going to cover as well. So bear with us and sit back and enjoy the show. So, Patrick, what was your takeaway from college this past weekend, and what are you looking forward to this weekend?
Well, man, of course, you got your God, I wasn't ready. Had all the time
Let's start with the review, Patrick.
dummy. All right, man, my fault. I completely draw a blank. All right,
It happens.
dude. Did I call it or did I call it? I'm just saying. Michigan State versus Ohio State. No, we're not even going to talk about LSU. We're not even going to talk about that game. I didn't call that one. I mean, I got that one wrong. But we don't count what I got wrong. We're going to count what I got right because this is the only one that mattered. Ohio State got beat. What's up with that?
So is that what we're doing before we move on with this, Patrick? Is that what we're doing? We're just counting the ones we get right now? That's what's going on?
Just today because I called the Michigan State game. That's all I'm saying.
Okay. All right, I'll give you that.
Just today and just for this game because I didn't get the Notre Dame game right either. So, but I got the Georgia Southern right. And I got the Duke and Virginia game right as well. So
yeah, you had a pretty good week. All right, so you're
pretty good week. And then the two that I got wrong really doesn't matter because I got the two right. That does matter. Georgia and Michigan State. The man.
Now we have to remember you've had Ohio State on upset alert. That's about every week too.
Them and Notre Dame. It was a good week for me, man. USC lost. Notre Dame almost lost. Ohio State lost, and Georgia won. Good. But let's go over the games. Michigan State, Ohio State, dude. That game was just played very conservative. You mentioned this earlier when we were talking, and Michigan made right plays. Ohio State didn't make any. It is what it is. 17-14. Ohio State. You get a bowl game. Congratulations. No championship. All you Buckeye fans, up yours.
You so crazy. You've been waiting to do this all year.
I've been waiting to do it all year. Waiting to do it all year. I got to do it with USC. I got to do it with Notre Dame. Now I get to do it with Ohio State.
The Tiger Woods fist pump. Yes, I like it. So, well,
it wasn't a good game at all. I can tell you right now, I didn't enjoy any of that game. The only time I enjoyed the game was the last 3 seconds of the game when Michigan State went ahead to win the game. That was it. Other than that, the game sucked. It was a very boring game. It wasn't even good. It wasn't even a defensive match. It wasn't an offensive match. It was a match of coaches trying not to make the first mistake. That's all it was. I didn't like it. So
yes, I like the Baylor the Baylor Oklahoma State game. So you get to give Baylor a little bit of credit because like after they lost to Oklahoma, it was just kind of it wasn't looking good for them. Going up to Stillwater to play Oklahoma State, it wasn't a good picture for them. But they came in there and they dominated that game. They looked pretty good doing it. And now they're right back in the talk for a potential playoff bid. And they need a little bit of help from, out of all people, Oklahoma State now, because they need Oklahoma to lose. So, but at least Baylor is back in the conversation with by winning in Stillwater against Oklahoma State. Another game that I looked at was the North Carolina Virginia Tech game. So remember that was my upset alert. And Virginia Tech took them into overtime, but you give North Carolina credit for finding a way to win that. So they're still sitting there with one loss, and they'll see Clemson in the ACC championship game now. So those are a couple of the games that caught my eye. So.
Well, I mean, it was a good week. I was one game that caught my eye, and I didn't call it whatsoever. I thought LSU was going to go into Ole Miss and stomp them in the face, and that went the other way, man.
Yeah, LSU is not—they're not looking good, man.
I don't know what to say about Fournette, man. Ever since he run into Alabama, dude, he has hit the brakes, man, or hit a wall one. I don't know which one it is, but LSU struggling, man. You've told me over the phone, man. You might be looking for like Les Miles might be needing to go, but honestly I don't see Les Miles going anywhere. But the team has become stagnant. But we'll see how it goes, man. I mean, they got a bowl bid. They still got Texas A&M.
Yes,
Texas A&M left. So we'll see how it goes, man. If they can win Texas A&M and win their bowl game, then they still won 9 games.
Yeah, reports are they want to make a decision on Les Miles' future after that game, after the A&M game. So, I mean, we'll see. That could go either way. I mean, I'm not a big component of making a change in between the regular season and the bowl game. I figure you might as well let the man finish it out. If you're gonna make a change before the bowl game, I don't know. To me, it causes a little bit more flux.
Yeah, the only time you ever make a change before a bowl game is if you're dealing with Lane Kiffin and you fire his ass every time.
Well, I mean, or you could just fire him as soon as you get off the plane.
Whichever. Whichever. As long as he's fired, I don't care.
Well, on that note, Patrick, since I guess we kind of started talking about some of the preview. What games are you looking forward to?
Well, it's rivalry. Why does everybody struggle with it?
Rivalry week.
It's always an interesting week, man. You got Alabama versus Auburn. You got Georgia versus Georgia Tech. God, what is all the games? Jeez.
Alabama, Auburn. Did you say Alabama, Auburn?
Yeah, I said that one.
All right. So you got Florida State and Florida, Ohio State, Michigan, Oklahoma State, and Bedlam.
Florida State. Did you just say that?
Yeah, I said Florida State. I mean, it's just so many. I know. Hey, it's okay.
Stanford, Notre Dame. It's an interesting week, man. But I would have to say that one of my picks, I'm just going with sucky ass team versus sucky ass team. Ole Miss versus Mississippi State.
the egg bowl, huh?
Yeah, I'm go. Yeah, it is an interesting game. It could be a shootout or nobody scores. I don't know. It's probably end after 5 overtime 0-0.
What about that
96,
South Carolina?
It just depends. Huh?
What about that Clemson, South Carolina?
Oh yeah. I like that one too, man. That's an interesting game to me either way, man. It's like I got Clemson winning that game like pretty handily, but that game is just one of those Georgia Kentucky games, man. You know how Kentucky treats Georgia every time they're ranked top 5. Kentucky will win one game out of the season, and it's against Georgia in Georgia between the hedges with Uga sitting there.
Ready to bite people.
Ready to bite people in his air-conditioned doghouse. That PETA won't leave him alone. He's got a better life than most of those people at PETA, and they're like, free the animals.
And he's chilling in his air conditioner.
UGA 10 was released last week, so props to Georgia for UGA 10. So hopefully it's a undefeated UGA. Maybe. We'll see. So it's an interesting game. I got Clemson winning that game, but don't be surprised if South Carolina. Don't be surprised if South Carolina makes that close. I'm just saying. I don't see it happening, but don't be surprised if it does.
Patrick, man, these dudes lost to the Citadel, man. I mean, that is just like rock bottom. So I mean,
Florida almost lost to Florida Atlantic.
I know. Look, there's all kinds of almost rock bottom results last week.
That's the turd before rock bottom.
Yeah.
Florida almost lost to them.
Well, South Carolina hit it. They lost to the Citadel, man. And look, I got Clemson rolling up a double nickel, man. I tell you, like 55-17 is
I'm gonna
what
go with it. I'm gonna go with it. I'm just saying. Don't be surprised if South Carolina plays them. If it's close in the fourth quarter, man, don't be surprised. I'm just all I'm saying. I don't see it happening, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens.
Well, well, uh, for a few of the other games, man. So of course, I'm gonna be looking at Oklahoma State, the Bedlam game. Ohio State and Michigan is gonna be an interesting game. But to me, Florida State and Florida is interesting. I want to see how Florida plays against a team that, well, it definitely can match that talent pool. Now, Florida has been struggling ever since they did win the SEC East. They've just been kind of struggling. Barely beat Vanderbilt, although Vanderbilt might be better than their record indicates.
They've been struggling throughout the entire season, man. They've been finding ways to win, and we say it a million times. A good team will win a few games, lose a few games, but a great team finds ways to win. I'm not going to say that this is a great team. They do have a good defense, but this is a very interesting matchup, man. I'm not. You may call me crazy. They're playing in the swamp, but I'm probably going to roll with Florida State winning this game, man.
No, it's not crazy at all. Because I mean, Florida really hasn't shown much to have you believe they could beat Florida State, to be honest. So, I mean, the thing that's really intriguing about that game is Florida sitting there at number 12 with these new BCS rankings. So they're sitting there at number 12. If they could beat Florida State, who's sitting at number 13, and beat Alabama, assuming they beat Auburn, which I think both you and I believe they will, and probably pretty handily. Although, again, rivalry game, anything could happen. But pretty sure Alabama will win that game. So now you got Alabama, and they're sitting at number 2. Florida has a chance to play them in the SEC championship game. Florida can play their way into that conversation for the playoff.
Because, I mean, well, you could look at it. I mean, you got Ohio State and Michigan. One of those teams are going to lose, and they're above Florida. You got who else? You got Stanford and Notre Dame. One of those teams has got to lose. Who's the other one? I think there's another one, isn't there? No, not in the top 10. But let's say one of those teams got to lose. Florida beats the number 13 ranked Florida State. They're probably going to leapfrog a couple of those, including that. So you could look at this team possibly being 6th or 7th, and then if they beat an Alabama, which I don't see that happening, but if they do, this team could possibly be somewhere around 4th, 3rd or 4th. I mean, legitimately.
And assuming Michigan State wins, then they'll go to the Big Ten title game where they'll play Iowa. So one of those teams
another game. So somebody's got to lose there too.
Yeah, so it's really intriguing. So if Florida can get something together, they can play their way into that conversation. And it just goes back to the whole rivalry week and the championship games, because you have all these teams who are actually playing each other. Yep. So a lot is going to change, but from now until the time where those final rankings come out, it's anybody's guess where things are going to end up. So that's why when these rankings come out, I always say it's funny to hear all the discussion. Everybody wants to go crazy over the rankings. Let it play out. Let it happen. Just let everything just fall where they may.
Yep.
And everything will work out.
Yeah, well, we'll see how it goes for the rest of the week, but let's get on our first rant.
No, not yet, Patrick. Gotta do hit the preview.
I've got to. Why?
Not yet. No, not yet. No, Patrick, we gotta order. You know this. You know how we do it. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and make it different. Let's go ahead. Where you on a rant?
I'm gonna rant on this Ohio State bull crap because they lost one freaking game. What is Elliott's problem, man? He lose one game, he gonna go get drafted by the NFL all of a sudden, like not like he's gonna go to an undefeated team. He's probably gonna carry an ass whooping up there a couple of times. Oh well, I'm just gonna get drafted by above pro NFL team.
Don't forget about the fans blaming the weather for the loss.
Oh yeah, and the fans blaming the weather. Well, Ohio State could have won that game if it wasn't raining. Shut up. Everybody shut up. Y'all are idiots. Michigan State had the same problem with the rain.
This is your classic example, Patrick, of a fan base and a team that has become very, very spoiled. So they haven't lost it a couple of years. They hadn't lost since the Virginia Tech game, which was the second game of the regular season last season.
Mm-hmm.
So you've gotten used to winning. Yeah, the fan base has gotten used to winning. And when they catch a loss, we always say this: you find out the most about a team, about people in general, in times of adversity.
Mm-hmm. And they've been eating up so much cupcakes, man. Playing all these cupcake teams, man. I'm surprised they don't have insulin because of all the freaking cavities and diabetes they have.
Yeah, they have been loading up on the sweets, and
team.
And it caught up to them. Caught up to them.
They got that big tire around their belly. Slowed down. Ran into a Michigan State team that, well, fat and slow too, but he can kick a 42-yard field goal, but he can't make a 41.
Well, look, you know what though, Patrick? If we're gonna talk about Ezekiel Elliott getting loose on his soapbox, which was crazy all in and of itself, we cannot forget about Cardale Jones, because he got on his soapbox too. And this dude, when he had his 3-game run last year, Big Ten championship game, playoff game against Alabama, the national championship game against Oregon, he was hot property. I mean, people were talking about him going in the draft and actually being a high draft choice. He decided to go back to school. Now, all of a sudden, he went back to school. He can't keep the job. And now he talking about going pro. That dude, at best, if he's talking about going pro all of a sudden after they lose, he's not going any higher than the 4th round right now. Any higher.
Maybe 4th round. I got him going high 5th. He sucks.
I mean, he came back and he can't even keep the job. He can't keep the job. He's sitting on the bench. He's chilling.
Well, I can't say anything else, man. Georgia, look at Georgia's freaking quarterback.
Well, hey, look, at least he wasn't over here threatening to go pro. I'm just saying.
If he threatened to go pro, they would probably kick him out and say, please go. Get out of my hair. I don't even want to look at you anymore. And then the pro team would do exactly what they did to Johnny Manziel. He's an idiot, too. I'll get on his rant in a little bit.
Yeah, man.
They get him on the bench and be like, well, you ain't playing none. We're going to make you a 6th-string quarterback. Well, there's only 2 quarterbacks on it. Yeah, well, it's because the running back and the wide receiver and the kicker is all going to go before you.
Now, Cardale Jones apparently made his declaration to the draft on Twitter, and then he came back. I don't know if it was today or whenever, sometime afterwards, because I saw it on ESPN's Outside the Lines. Apparently he came back talking about, well, man, people will do anything with tweets. Man, this season's far from over. Like, whatever, dude. You went, you tweeted whatever you had to tweet, and you got some heat for it. So now you want to go back and try to act like, oh, everything is good, man. I'm all about the Bucks. Whatever. Delete your account. Delete it. These people make me sick with their tweets. Just delete your account. I get it. I know that is part of the society now. Twitter's a big part of the society. People want to get out here and say whatever they can in 140 characters. I get it, but
some people don't even need 140 characters. They need to have zero.
Just stop it. Shut it down.
What did I tell you? What did I tell you earlier today? Everybody should have an automatic message on their machine, on their account, that says, when I lose, disable my account. and there should be some people on there that Twitter should monitor and say, look, we're just going to let them have an account, but we're going to disable it forever.
Yeah. Well,
make them feel special, but let them know that they're stupid and they don't need anything. They don't need a social media to freaking screw themselves.
Well, speaking of Ohio State, like I said, this was the week where I was saying they were going to lose. So I think they're going to get beat by Michigan. Seems like the team is probably in a little bit of turmoil anyway, because you got players ready to jump ship after a loss. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting. And the fans should be ashamed of themselves for trying to blame the weather. And the players should be ashamed of themselves for trying to jump ship after they lose. Just a disgusting display from the people associated with the whole Ohio State football program right now. Just disgusting. Gross.
Well, it's like this. What do you expect from any other team? And what do you expect from any other fan / player that comes from Ohio at all? Look at LeBron James. Enough said.
What's it always comes back to LeBron. Look, I'm sure
we'll talk about Ohio. We talk about LeBron because LeBron's a little prick.
We'll get on LeBron in a little bit.
A long time contract.
Well, all right. Well, Patrick, let's talk about the NFL and let's talk about the reviews and previews from that. Now, before you start, I want to come on here and I want to say I was wrong about the Packers. I thought Minnesota was going to win the game. But actually, and I wrote an article about this on my blog site. Picking Minnesota to beat Green Bay, that actually kind of goes against how I normally am with these type of things. And you know how I am. Green Bay has been the champions of the division for the last 4 years. And I'm normally a believer of an up-and-coming team needing to beat that team. Yeah. Needing to beat that team before I can say, you know what? Yeah, I think Minnesota or whoever can take that crown. Well, I looked at how Minnesota was playing, and they were playing very well. They had won 5 in a row. Green Bay had lost 3 in a row. And I thought Minnesota would be able to carry that momentum. But Green Bay showed, hey, this is still their division to lose. They went through a little bit of a rough streak, but they came in there and they controlled that game in Minnesota. So I'm gonna come out here, say I was wrong about that one, and probably for Dawad, I'll just stick with my normal predictions. In order to be the champs, you got to beat the champs.
Yep. I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm gonna hang my head a little bit.
Why?
Because I did the same thing. I normally don't do that either, and I picked Minnesota to win that game, and Minnesota never did anything to control the clock. They were mostly 3 and outs, a couple of key turnovers that actually should have resulted in points, but Green Bay's defense stepped up and got out of it. So yeah, you got to, if you're going to be the champs, you got to beat the champs, and Minnesota just obviously was not ready. So I will say this, though. I'm going to move to the next game, Cincinnati and Arizona. I have to admit, Cincinnati saved their asses from a rant. I can tell you that, because it was coming last week. It was coming, and they played Arizona very well. Arizona proved to be the better team, but at least Cincinnati showed up. They showed up to play. I even think they had the three lead changes in that game. So it was a good game. I give Cincinnati a lot of credit. Andy Dalton came in and he did his thing. It just wasn't enough. It showed that Cincinnati had a lot to learn, but it also showed that Cincinnati they've learned a lot. So um, they saved themselves from a rant. So good job.
Yeah, that was one of the better games of the week, definitely. Very quietly, Tampa Bay has snuck their way into the playoff conversation in the NFC. So they're sitting at 5 and
I'm not
5.
happy about it either.
I know you're not. I know you're not because they're
They
right
didn't they
behind
didn't
y'all
quietly sneak their way into a playoff with me because as soon as they won that game against Philadelphia, which garbage city, as soon as they won that game, I went, damn, this is not looking good.
And you know what? Speaking of Philadelphia, that gets me on the next rant. So
Do it.
so the Eagles. So now they are sitting at 4 and 6. And they are playing Thursday in Detroit. I think that's another loss for them. So I have this team at 4 and 7 by the time this game in Detroit is over on Thanksgiving Day. Philadelphia is a disgrace. And yeah, you can say that about every single sports team in the city of Philadelphia. Flyers, trash. Sixers, don't even get me started.
Let's not even go there.
Go
Right
on.
now, that is an hour-long rant.
The Phillies, garbage, and the Eagles are right on the cusp of being garbage along with them.
Oh, dude, they're right on the cusp. Let's look at the rest of their schedule. You got them losing to the Lions. That makes them 4 and 7. Well,
Mm-hmm.
after that, they got Patriots in New England,
Loss,
Buffalo,
loss,
lost, Cardinals,
loss.
Redskins.
Yeah, because the Redskins are kind of garbage too.
Yeah, but they're garbage. They're classy garbage
Oh, they're high
compared to
class
Philly.
garbage. I
Compared to
got
Philly. Compared to Philly.
you.
So that could be a win or a loss. And then they got New York Giants. So what are we looking at this team? 5 and
I'm
11.
gonna go
5
6
and
and
11.
10.
I'm gonna go 5 and 11.
I'll go 6 and 10. They might because they might be able to beat the Redskins or Giants because they're just as garbage as they are.
Or I doubt they're going to beat I don't think they're going to beat the Redskins and the Giants. I think they're going to beat the Redskins or the Giants.
No, I'm just saying they can beat either of those teams. So I don't think they're going to be either or both of them either. But I was just saying they're capable of beating those two teams.
Yeah, so I only see them winning one more game. They're 4 and
So,
7. They got the Lions, which you already said was a loss. So that makes
yeah,
them
that's a loss. Yes, I think the Lions will
Patriots
beat
makes
them.
them 4 and 8. Bills
Mm-hmm.
makes them 4 and 9. Cardinals makes them 4 and 10. And then if they beat the Redskins or the Giants, that makes them 5 and 10. And 6, 5 and 11. So 5 and
5 and
11.
11. And
5 and 11.
I'll
Awesome.
go. I'll go 5 and 11, possible 6 and 10. Because again, man, the Redskins and Giants.
I'm gonna go 4 and 12, possibly.
4 oh, so you don't. Hey, you just don't have them winning again.
I'm
You
gonna
just
have to
got.
win again.
You got them going straight to the dumpster, just along with the rest of the Philly teams.
Yeah, and the Washington Nationals. I'm gonna throw them in there too because they're garbage too.
Well, I look, man. I know the Eagles. They're getting what they deserve. Look, Sam Bradford hurt again, and they're running Mark Sanchez out
He's
there.
faking it. He's faking it because he doesn't want to be out there to get his ass whipped.
It's just disgusting. And this is Chip Kelly's doing. He's the one who wanted to trade all these players away and bring in.
Chip Kelly's injured too.
And you know, it's funny. You know what else is funny? You got anonymous players questioning DeMarco Murray's effort. How funny is that?
You should be, dude. Chip Kelly has been playing coach injured for the past ever since he started. That man has got parts of his brain missing. He is literally playing injured right now. That man is an idiot. He trades off all of his good players to keep all this crap, and then he makes me lose a bet because he let Tim Tebow go. That little bastard. He's getting exactly what he deserved. Make me wear an Alabama jersey.
Patrick, are you really going to blame that on Chip Kelly?
I'm blaming that shit on Chip Kelly. Damn,
Patrick,
damn.
Patrick, nobody told you to make that bet that Tim Tebow was going to be starting.
No, but Chip Kelly should have known that somebody was going to make that bet, and he should have kept him.
Oh, because he's a mind reader. Yes.
No, it's not that he's a mind reader. He should be a mind reader. But the fact is that he was the best quarterback they had, and they want to keep Sam Bradford.
Look, I think we agree that was a dumb decision. I do. That was crazy. Didn't understand why you brought Tim Tebow to the team anyway. If you were just going to let him go and you're going to keep Sam Bradford and Mark Sanchez.
Yeah,
disgusting. I don't know.
You're gonna keep Sam Bradford and the dirty Sanchez.
So Philadelphia, a hot ghetto mess. Well, what are you previewing for NFL?
Well, there's a lot of there's some good games, and then there's some games. I'm really interested, of course, Thanksgiving Day football, man. You know, you got Green Bay versus Chicago. That's going to be a good game. I don't think. Well, it depends. Depends on what Chicago team shows up. But they are playing in Lambeau Field, so we'll see. I mean, Thanksgiving Day is always a good day for football. You know what I'm saying? So you'll get to watch all three of those games. But I would have to say, you laugh at me again, probably because I said it the last time. Jacksonville and San Diego, man. This is
Jacksonville, man.
I got Jacksonville, man. I got Jacksonville. Jacksonville is somehow, some way. They're not.
I like their jerseys. I did like those mustard colored jerseys they had. A lot of people didn't like them, but I liked them.
I thought they're pretty sick. Now I'm not going to sit here and say that they're the best team out there in the world, but I am going to say this: but they're putting it together, man. They're putting it together. I mean, Jacksonville, San Diego, man. I got San Diego. I got Jacksonville winning this game.
They could beat San Diego. San Diego's a mess right now too.
So is Jacksonville, but I think they're in less of a mess than San Diego is.
Look, I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm rooting for Jacksonville to win that division. I'm kind of tired of
them. They're not going to, but
no, but I can hope. And so, I think they can win that division. I think they can. Because the Colts, I mean, they're still kind of sputtering. They got Matt Hasselbeck in there playing quarterback, and the Texans are the Texans. I don't think they're gonna stay consistent. They have won 3 in a row, so they give them credit for that because I mean we've been bashing on the Texans on this whole program, but they're playing some good ball. I don't think they'll maintain that. I'm gonna give Jacksonville a shot, and yes, they can beat San Diego. San Diego is a hot mess. Let's see. There's a couple other games. So the Patriots are playing the Broncos, and the Broncos are going to be starting Brock Osweiler. Peyton Manning is hurt. He's going to be out, I guess, for at least the next 2 weeks, recovering from the foot injury he has. I'm going to say this right now, Patrick. I don't know if you're going to agree with me, but if Brock Osweiler plays well and somehow finds a way to beat New England or helps the team beat New England, you have to write him out.
I'm not crazy on that. Peyton Manning's done. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad quarterback. I think the man needs to retire. He's put in this is his 20th year. Look, I know you want that next Super Bowl ring because how hard is it to be one of the best quarterbacks? How is it to be better than your brother and your brother still has more rings than you do? That has to hurt. Because Eli Manning, it's a horrible quarterback, dude. He's horrible. He throws crap out of he throws crap out of his butthole. And because of his wide receivers just happened to step up their game that day. Oh, I won the Super Bowl. Yay! I don't even know how I done it, but you're an idiot. I see where Peyton Manning's coming from. He wants to win that one more Super Bowl ring, because chances are Eli's probably going to win 2 more because of pure freaking luck. Well, probably not, but
I mean,
you never know. They were always they won the Super Bowl one year for 7-9, and then they won the next year 8-8.
well, I mean,
bring your 14-2 ass up here and let me show you something.
He's gotten hot at the right times, and that's basically what it boils down to.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at Eli Manning's career, it's not the best career. It's not like he's been setting the world on fire. And as a matter of fact, besides those 2 years, the Giants did win the Super Bowl. They had not made the playoffs any other year besides those 2 years.
Yep. So good runs, I guess. But back on the New England Denver game, yeah, if he puts this game, he puts New England to their first loss. Ride him out, and let's see where it goes, man. I mean, give him that. Got to.
Yep. So I mean, that's what I think it's really gonna just boil down to. If he plays well, yeah, you have to see where that goes. I know your past history would say, well, yeah, Peyton Manning should get in there, but it's just like, I mean, if you get on a hot streak with the quarterback, regardless of whether or not they got hurt or they got in trouble, if that other dude comes in there and steps in and he's doing well and the team is doing well, yep, he's got to stay the starter. So I don't think that changes with Brock Osweiler. And Peyton Manning he's just not the same. He's had a great career, hell of a career. But yeah, it just looks like, I mean, so far he's kind of been a turnover machine. And I mean, that hurts because I mean, yeah, you know us. I mean, shoot, we've been the advocates of Peyton Manning. We've been wanting Peyton Manning to do well. But I mean, if you've been turning the ball over and you're hurt, you're kind of beat up, it might be time to kind of step back.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this right now. I can't even say that quarterback's last name, and for the announcer's sake, I hope he has a bad game so they don't have to say his name so many times. Because I'm gonna tell you, man, that's a freaking mouthful.
Osweiler? You can't say Osweiler.
Well, they're not going to just say Hartsweiler. They're going to say his entire freaking name, and he's probably got 2 middle names.
It's Brock Osweiler, Patrick.
I mean, that's just a mouthful.
No, it's not. It's like 4 syllables.
I'll never remember that. That's the reason why I'm not an announcer. I'll never remember his name. I'd be like, yeah, that dude.
Patrick, let's move on to a rant. And a name you will remember, Johnny Manziel. So
this news just came out like yesterday or today. Do I need to start this rant, or are you going to?
No, man, I'm just going to set the table real quick, and then you just jump in when you feel ready. Okay.
I can do that.
All right, cool. So here's a guy who a week ago, not even a week ago, was named the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns for the rest of the season. Some tape surfaces of him partying. Now, he's not even the backup. He's going to be the third string.
At what point do you learn your lesson, Charles? At what point? I'm not even mad at him for partying. Just go party. Go get drunk. You're a freaking millionaire. Do it. But put your damn phone in your pocket and stop singing to it. You're an idiot. Dude. Go ahead.
Well, look, the video, to be fair, was posted by TMC Sports, and of course all the other outlets got it. I personally saw it on Bleacher Report. I think the partying, okay, because this was during the bye week, or no one knows. That's the crazy thing. No one knows when this video was made. So if it did happen during the bye week, I don't see a big deal about him going to party. The thing with Johnny Manziel is we know this has been a history of his, and we know that it has gotten him into a little bit of trouble. If you are the starting quarterback of a franchise, there is an amount of professionalism there, and priorities have to set in at some point. What is more important, you partying or you keeping your livelihood? I would say it's keeping your livelihood. Apparently for Johnny Manziel, it's going to party. Now, we before we started doing this webcast, we had made comparisons to him and Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston, of course, is starting for Tampa Bay. He's been starting for Tampa Bay, but from all indications, this man is going about things the right way. Going in there, he's studying, breaking down film, and he's trying to get better. We're not seeing that from Johnny Manziel. This is sad for me because I want to see Johnny Manziel doing well. I've been an advocate of Johnny Manziel's, but if he ain't gonna grow up, then I guess it's not gonna happen for him, man. And this could be a career. This could be a career ender. I mean, it could be. It could be that because who's gonna take a chance on him at this point to be a starter?
Nobody. I mean, nobody's going to take a chance because if the coach, I can't even remember the head coach for the Browns right now, but he said it's like this.
Mike Pettin.
Mike Pettin. All right. He said if this is a first time incident, that's one thing. If this is a recurring incident, that's another. You have to take in consideration of what he done in college. You have to, because it's still a direct reflection of what he is. He didn't care about Texas A&M at that point, so he moves on and he goes to the Browns. He does all this crap, sending text messages to the GM, doing all this to the head coach, saying that, look, pick me up, let's go win a championship. All right, cool. They pick him up. Well, what have they done? Nothing. They've tried trick plays with him by him talking on the sidelines and then running down the field, and he can't even catch the ball. Or I mean, just stupid crap. I mean, it's like this guy right here. He's an ass clown. He's a joke. And if he's just going to keep doing this crap, I wouldn't even put him as a third string. I'd cut him. No, but I don't even need this crap on my team. I need somebody that's actually going to be serious, because this is a multi-million-dollar a year industry, or a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, and a multi-million-dollar a year team, an organization of which looks like shit because of their colors of their uniform, and they play like shit. But they need somebody that's actually going to come in and play and try to start making this team better. And Manziel obviously is not the man. He's an ass clown. Cut him.
Yeah, I tend to think he probably. I mean, he's probably going to be cut. I mean, if not now, probably at the end of the season. I guess they'll go through and they'll reevaluate the things for the team. But here's the thing, man. I think it goes to a bigger problem than just Johnny Manziel. We're talking about the Cleveland Browns franchise here. You got a GM and you have an owner who have made a bunch of terrible draft choices that have not panned out. So what you have here, you have a lot of people whose jobs are on the line, including the head coach. And the head coach is not going to put his job status in the hands of a guy who can't act responsibly at the quarterback position. He's not going to do that. And that's exactly where I think his decision came from. For him to come through and say, look, we want Johnny to do well, but
we're not doing it at the risk of my career. I wouldn't.
Yeah, and you expect a certain amount of professionalism. You're not getting it.
Well, I can tell you this right now.
You got to do at that point.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do. But I can tell you this right now. Ryan Mallett just got him a check cut for $1.47 million. Maybe they should cut Johnny Manziel for $1.47 million and let them go get a little condo out in wherever, and they can just drink and party by themselves and miss the plane all day long. I don't care. Get them off the team.
You talk about a hot mess, Ryan Mallett. Oh my gosh.
That
But
he-
yeah, Johnny Manziel, yeah, he messed up.
Yep.
The
So
partying kind of messed him up.
One time, okay, cool. One time, 2 times, time to go.
Yep.
Go cut them. So that's the way I feel about it.
Well, let's get one more rant in there, Patrick, and then we'll talk about the boxing match over the weekend with Canelo and Cotto. But
man, might have to speed it up a little bit, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we knew it was going to be a long show because we had a lot to go over and a lot of ranting. But the Clippers, yeah. So this team, apparently they've been fighting. They blew another lead to the Golden State Warriors, 23-point lead back on Thursday night. And then on Saturday, they lost to the Toronto Raptors. After this game, apparently they were fighting. Look, Patrick, I don't have too much to say about the Clippers except for this. This is the whiniest, most overrated team maybe in the history of sports right now. Time and time again over the past few years, we've been hearing about how this team is supposed to be coming up to be the best in the Western Conference. They still haven't made it past the Western Conference Finals. Last year was a ridiculous tease. They beat the Spurs in the first round, and a lot of us are thinking, oh, okay, yeah, maybe the Clippers have arrived finally. And then they blow a 3-1 lead in the semifinals against the Houston Rockets. This is the most whiniest, overrated team in the history of sports right now. That's where I'm going with it. The Clippers make me sick, and until they make it past the Western Conference Finals or past the Western Conference semifinals, I don't want to hear anything about what they can potentially do. Bunch of crybabies. If it's not Doc Rivers crying, it's Chris Paul. If it's not Chris Paul crying, it's Blake Griffin. If it's not Blake Griffin, it's DeAndre Jordan crying. I'm just tired of the crybabies. And then you bring Lance Stevenson onto the team and Josh Biff, a couple more crybabies. You got just a crybaby ass locker room. Of course, the chemistry is going to be trash.
Nobody can whine better than me. This is like the Philly motto, man. Look, the Clippers. The only thing they're missing on that team is LeBron James, and they'd be the whitest team in all of history of sports. All right. But right now, look, like you said, man, if it's not Doc Rivers, if it's not Doc Rivers, it's Chris Paul. If it's not Chris Paul, it's Blake Griffin. If it's not Blake Griffin, go on down the line. Every one of them are crybabies. And that's never going to change. That's never going to change. This team needs to be broke up. This team should have been broke up last year. Keep 1, maybe 2 people. Keep Blake Griffin because you can only handle so many babies on one team. Look at the Washington Nationals. They getting rid of all their crybabies and they're keeping 1, Bryce Harper, which is a mistake. I'm just going to say, Washington, you're messing up right there.
Why is that a mistake to keep Bryce Harper?
Because, dude, you can only wipe so much. You can only wipe his ass for so long. He needs to start wiping his own ass. I'm just saying.
You need to let him grow up, man. I mean, it's not like. Here's the thing. It's not like he's getting in trouble
for a professional team, Charles.
It's not like he's getting in a whole bunch of trouble, though, man. I mean, he's not doing anything. He's not being like a bad example off the field. He has a little bit of an issue sometimes with whining. But again, I think he's giving him a little bit of a pass. He's 22 years old. We can give him a chance to kind of grow up. It's not. This is kind of different from a Johnny Manziel situation where Johnny Manziel was just partying and getting in trouble. Bryce Harper hasn't gotten in any trouble, and he's actually being productive. He's won an MVP.
I'm giving you this look because it looks like my screen is froze because you're full of crap.
Yeah, right. I'm telling the truth. That's what I'm doing.
And they need to trade him. They need to get somebody in there that actually can play baseball.
Who are you gonna trade him for? And if you do trade him,
I'll trade. But what would I have traded Steven Strasburg for? Oh, now you're playing the freeze game. Okay, what would I trade Steven Strasburg for?
Well, if you're gonna trade him, And you
I'll get the cherry flavored Gatorade to step up from the lemon flavor. Come on, Charles, you froze up again, man.
All right, yeah, take two. So, so yeah, if you are going to trade him, I mean, what are you going to get for him? Who would you try to get in return for Bryce Harper? Bryce Harper is, I mean, he's one of the best players in the league right now. So who are you going to try to get for him?
Take whatever you can get. Somebody that don't whine. That's what I say. Get somebody that don't whine. But you know what?
All right, so Bryce Harper for a bag of chips. Is that where we're going with this, Patrick?
Cheddar and sour cream.
Oh my God, Patrick, you don't even believe that, dude. Stop. You don't believe this. You can't possibly believe this. I know you don't like Bryce Harper, and we know how you get when you don't like people.
I would probably build my team around him, honestly. I don't like him, but I would build my team around him. But honestly, we got way off topic.
Yeah, man. Yes, we did. It's okay because we were over here talking about the Clippers being the whitest team in the league. It's all right. It's cool. But
they are the whiniest team, and honestly, until, like you said, until they win their Western Conference championship, I don't even want to hear about them. Matter of fact, I don't even look at them. And I can tell you this right now, history is about to be made. So if y'all want to watch right there, 5-11 left. Golden State's about to go 16-0. They are up 106-70 right now, Charles.
The Lakers.
The Lakers. The Black Mamba sucks.
Man, poor Kobe Bryant. I was watching the beginning of that game, Patrick, before we start talking about this fight, and then we're gonna have to wrap it up. So, dude, I started watching the game. It was like 4-0, and Kobe Bryant was looking just gassed already. I was like, "Oh my God, what's happened to this man?" Like he was looking like he needed a break already.
Yeah. Well, let's get on this boxing, man.
All right. Well, so big fight this weekend. Canelo Alvarez against Miguel Cotto. And I guess this was the supposed fight of the year because the Floyd Mayweather Manny Pacquiao fight really didn't live up to it. But but this was a better fight than that one. And Canelo actually looked like he was just a better fighter, man. Younger fighter, more power. It just kind of looked he was just better than Cotto. Not that Cotto was bad. Cotto had his moments. He was able to put together a few combinations, but man,
he even won a couple of rounds. I think he won like the 4th round and the 7th round, and maybe even the 8th. I couldn't tell. But I mean, let's be honest, man. Alvarez, he worked that entire ring the way you're supposed to work it. He had what, a 2-inch reach on Cotto. So I mean, what I saw was pure dominance by Alvarez. That's what I saw. I mean, yeah, Cotto got a few rounds in there. I think, like I said, I think he got the 4th, the 7th, and you know, that 8th one was up for debate. And then, you know, Alvarez gets this unanimous decision, and it honestly should have been worse than that. I mean, I was looking at some of the decisions, man. It was like by 10. I mean, that was like one was like 109 to 119. I was like, man, that should have been like 220 to 15. Good God. I mean, like, you know, I was looking at the 12th round, man, and Alvarez just ruled him from the 10th, 11th, and 12th. Now, like you said, man, Cotto, he's a good boxer, man. I mean, this is his 5th loss, and 2 of those 5 losses came to Alvarez. So Cotto's a good fighter. I mean, he really is. It's just Alvarez showed his dominance. Plus, he was a lot more powerful, and that was big. I mean, he was big. He's a big kid. So what I saw is just pure dominance. I mean, for 12 rounds, that was just pure dominance by Alvarez.
Yeah, he definitely looked like the better fighter there. And I wasn't surprised, man. I felt like Alvarez was gonna win the fight.
I did too.
See, I kind of looked at the age difference. He was 10 years younger, and I just felt like he just the power he possessed would start to just kind of take over the fight. That's exactly what happened. So, give props to Canelo, and I guess they're looking at a fight with, I guess, this dude Triple G is what they call him. So this guy holds pretty much every middleweight title there is. So you got the WBC, WBO, IBF, all these other federations, but whatever federation it is, he holds that title. So
He's
that's
about to lose. He's about to lose.
yeah. I
I
mean,
would take Alvarez over him too.
Alvarez is looking pretty.
Hey man. Yeah, dude, we reached our max. You can only do an hour. Yeah, that's the reason why I was trying to get us to hurry up, but then yeah. But anyway, yeah, just post that on there and we'll just go we'll roll with that and we'll do another. Yeah, disclaimer it, throw it out there. I'm gonna end the call.